What's going on, family and friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show here on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. I am your guy, your homie, your friend. I'm your host, Arrington Gavin. Thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. This is the show where we discuss trending news and thought-provoking topics from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and really all the above. On today's show, we're going to be impacting a lot of great stories in the sports world as well as entertainment. But before I move on to that, I just have to say this and get it off my chest because it's been bugging me throughout this week. For those who think the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump was staged, please shut up. Please shut up. Like, you don't know how ignorant you sound right now. You're like, oh, it was staged. I guarantee you, that was staged. That was a staged event that happened. Okay, so the loss of a a first responder, okay, that shield his family, his wife and children who died, that was staged. The other people that were injured, that was staged. No, you sound extremely ignorant. And for those who saying that this was this was orders from President Biden, he was in charge of this whole assassination. Please shut the hell up. You as well, because you sound ignorant as well. Okay, like you the conversations that I hear in so many crowds on from the right and the left, they both sound so ignorant. And you don't realize how ignorant you sound if you could actually hear yourself. So one side is saying this is a staged assassination attempt. Again, as I mentioned before, lives were lost. A life was lost. You hear me? That was not staged. And then the other side is saying that it was orders from his political opponent, because that's where politics is going with. You guys are a part of the problem. Okay, you talk about how much you can't stand the division in the world. Guess what? You are a part of the problem, and to me, you need to get a wake-up call. You know who you are, because there's groups of you, which is it's sad to say, because you really hope that it's not one person that brings up, but there's groups of you that think this way, and you're both sides, both whichever side you're on, you're both wrong, you're both ignorant, and please, y'all need to shut up. Just shut up. Like what else do you have to do? Is there anything else you can do with your life besides make all these false narratives and accusations? And see, guys, this is why it is so important when it comes to uh, uh certain outlets and public figures on and the words that you spew out, because there's people that take that stuff into consideration, believe you, even though we live in a world now that is built on opinionated content. Now, you can say, well, Anderson, aren't you a part of the opinionated content? You know what? I am, because I share my personal opinion, but I also am an advocate for positive narrative, changing the narrative. What I mean by changing the narrative is that I'm not going to give you the whole cookie cutter agenda based BS that you hear amongst so many different outlets. Okay, I give you straightforward stuff that will benefit and is positivity. Right now, I'm not always right. I could be wrong as well, but that's why I have the privilege to bring on the experts that can speak the truth and that can give you the proper information. Okay, and at the end of the day, you can receive the information or you can not receive it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to bring out, okay, well, this is how I personally feel. This is going to be my opinion regardless of the information I show, because you have that right. But all this mess, man, it's disgusting. It makes me ill. um Again, it's unfortunate, but that's the shift in my mind, where where politics is going with, and really with anything outside of politics, because we have a lot of gossip columns where people truly believe gossip. We have rumors that occur in the sports world that people believe. There's conspiracy theories are starting to be on an all-time high, which I'm like, what in the world? Figures that I looked up to in media, they start really spewing out a lot of conspiracy theories, and I'm just like, okay, slow your roll, like just chill with all this. Well, really, oh, really, but they're not telling us this, and they're not telling us that, and this and that and that. Like, what is happening? What is happening? So I just had to get that off my chest, y'all. Um, this episode, I'm really not gonna speak much on politics, but at the end of the day, really politics, I mean, is involved in entertainment, sport. It's involved in everything, but I'm not gonna really dig deep into election things. Probably on the next show, I will. But again, if you are just now listening in here on the Arrington Gavin Show, again, I thank you. We are proud to be a part of the WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk family. You can listen to this program weeknights at 11 p.m. again on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, as well as WDJY FM online and all digital and streaming platforms. I thank you for those who support the program. Do me a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media, the letter R and then Smooth Club Media. Subscribe. You can also subscribe to my Rumble channel at the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, that's at the Arrington Gavin Show on Rumble. On Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show. I truly appreciate that, as well as my personal Instagram, Arrington Gavin. That's my name. So multiple ways you can contact us, leave a comment. If you want to, if there's a certain story or topic that you want to hear, please, DM me, or hey, if you happen to be a small business owner and you would love to have your show mentioned, or would love to work with me and all that good stuff, hey, look, the more the merrier. I happen to be a small business owner myself. I know how difficult it is to promote your brand, as well as just to get the, not just word of mouth, but really get it on those major platforms. So hey, look, we're a growing program here, very independent, unbiased as well. And yes, we would truly appreciate it if you want to contact myself or my team. I truly appreciate that. What else do we have going on? Oh, we couldn't do this show without our proud sponsors like Rugged Evolution Beard Care. That's right, Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smooth with 17 amazing scented beard oils and beard balms, conditioning shampoos, everything you need that can help enhance and make sure your beard is well taken care of and well maintained, as well as your skin. I am a client. I have been all my life. It's a great brand. It keeps my beard soft, smelling good, and keeps the skin underneath my beard taken care of. For more information, you can go visit their website, ruggedevo.com. That's right, this ruggedevo.com, www.ruggedevo.com, as well as Rugged Evo on all platforms, social media platforms like Instagram, and then their Facebook page, I believe, is Rugged Evolution Beard Care. They're doing some amazing things. So shout out to Rugged Evolution Beard Care, as well as Bernardo's Menswear. That's right, Bernardo's Menswear. He keeps you looking cool and swagged out from head to toe, business, casual, formal, you name it. They have shoes, accessories. They have everything you need to help enhance your style. Okay. As a business owner, as a media personality, I go to a lot of functions and a lot of events, some formal, some not so formal, but I always have to make sure my wardrobe, my attire is sharp, because that's a part of my brand. And with the help of Bernardo Johnson, I'm telling you, he keeps me looking so sharp, and I couldn't do without him. For more information about his amazing line, you can actually visit him at his store location if you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. That's right, 757. If you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, be sure to visit him at his store location in the MacArthur Mall, first floor, located in the heart of downtown Norfolk. Or if you are not in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, no worries. You can visit him online at www.bernardomenswear.com. That's bernardosmenswear.com. All right, guys. Look, we're gonna do a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our first story of the program. So y'all don't go anywhere, and do me a favor. Do not change that radio dial. We'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, our first story of the program: sports journalist and commentator Skip Bayless happens to be parting ways with Fox Sports 1 after 8 years. That's right, Skip Bayless, who was the face of the debate sports program Undisputed, is parting ways from the program, which is really a shocker to a lot of people, because when we first came, I'll say when the world was first, what's the word I'm looking for? When they were introduced to Skip Bayless, he was the star on the hit ESPN program First Take, which had featured him as well as Stephen A. Smith. At that time, First Take was really the first major sports, I would say, sports debate show. We were new to Stephen A. Smith. We were new to Skip Bayless, even though Skip Bayless had been in sports as a journalist for decades. You hear me? For decades. And the show became a hit success, winning in ratings, number one watch program on ESPN, and still to this day is the number one sports show really on television. And for about I think he was there for about 12 years, and then he announced that he was leaving. And Fox Sports 1 was a growing platform that was trying to be competition for ESPN, right? So when he left, before him, there was Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd made a name for himself with ESPN. I tune in the Colin Cowherd show, The Herd, pretty regularly, and so Cowherd was the first, and then I would say Skip was the second. Then you start to see a lot of ESPN commentators and journalists leaving them, going to FS1 over to the West Coast. Their headquarters in the West Coast, and so after 12 years there, he then joined FS1, creating a basically another version of First Take, just in a different name, called Undisputed. It was him as well as NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe. That show rose to fame. It was very successful. Never could slightly, I would say, top First Take, but it was very, very popular and great for the network. Since then, what had really started to fumble with Undisputed was that him and Shannon Sharpe was the back and forth was getting pretty aggressive, right? It was getting pretty aggressive, and so Shannon ended up leaving, and all hell broke loose, because really, even though it was Skip's show, Shannon started to really become the popular voice on there, and so it was told that wasn't, they didn't like that. They did not like that one bit. They, meaning Skip Bayless and his team, was not, was not fond of that. But I won't even say his team, just really Skip Bayless. And so Shannon ended up leaving. Shannon ended up he had a podcast at the time and still does Club Shay Shay, which was his personal platform, but it was directed and produced by FS1. It was growing huge success as well. He built a presence of its, he built, his brand was building of its own, and then he left, end up going to First Take on like a part-time, right? He's only there maybe a few times a week, but he ended up going to First Take. He moved, he left and went to the Rival. And so you see Skip and his show was like, okay, what are we gonna do? It was at a leave of absence for a while, and then Skip comes back, rebranded. He ended up bringing Keyshawn Johnson, oh man, Richard Sherman, as well as Paul Pierce in regards to on basketball. And then it was another voice, I'm forgetting her name at the moment, but there was a lot of rebranding, and they could not compete. It says here Skip is reportedly leaving FS1's Undisputed later this summer, according to the New York Post. The 72-year-old Bayless has been with FS1 since 2016 after spending 12 years at ESPN. He reportedly signed a 4-year, $32 million contract extension in 2021, according to the Post. It is expected that Undisputed will continue in some form after Bayless departs. Now, Bayless arrived at FS1 to co-host Skip and Shannon Undisputed, a debate show with Pro Football Hall of Famer, as I mentioned before, Shannon Sharp. Sharp left the show later. He left the show last summer for ESPN after his relationship with Bayless deteriorated on air amidst arguments that turned increasingly continuous. And a show based on debating the topics of the day in sports devolved into a pairing yelling personal attacks at each other. And that's very true. Y'all can go look up those clips because they went viral and they were getting ugly. I'll just say that. It says here various guest co-hosts, including Rachel Nichols, Paul Pierce, Richard Sherman, and Keyshawn Johnson, and also Michael Irvin. I forgot about Michael Irvin. Have been alongside Bayless since Sharp's departure, but ratings have sagged. The show averaged 48,000 viewers. You hear me? 48,000 viewers this past spring. Yeesh. Maybe you should have had me up there, Skip. I could help you out. But equally the smallest audience since the show returned last September following Sharp's exit. Now it says, what's next for Bayless? Whatever it is, it's likely won't be retirement. I said here, Bayless had mentioned on a 2022 podcast episode, I don't even want to hear the word retirement because I associate it with death. It's the first step towards death is retirement to me. I'm not ready to stop. It will be a waste for me to stop. All I would say, guys, is in this case, after I'll say it like this. Skip had always played the villainous role in every show. He's an older guy, doesn't smile a lot. He's very unfiltered. He could care less what athletes think of him when he gives his critiques, his criticism. He can show favoritism. He can be very biased, but you gotta love Skip, right? Skip is 72 years old, amazing shape. He has a certain swagger with him, and I would say he is one of the most recognized voices and minds in the sports world. Okay, when it comes to giving your true and honest feedback on sports and multiple sports, not just basketball, not just football, but all sports. He is a true expert. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. Shannon did a hell of a job up there on Undisputed, but to me, it was still, it didn't seem as accurate when Shannon was giving his take on baseball or NASCAR. Now, hey, Shannon is a world class athlete, but again, it just seemed like, okay, me personally, I prefer to see true sports journalists. Like I said, Stephen A and Skip Bayless, that could never change. That could never change. Um, Now First Take is doing a great job. You know, they've included Mad Dog Chris Russo on there, who I consider another version of Skip, just much louder. Um, and other, former NFL athletes. Ryan Clark is doing a hell of a job at it as well. But Skip is a true voice, and you need him in sports. Now, where is he going to go to? That I do not know. There's already been there was speculations that he might be reuniting with ESPN, but ESPN has already confirmed that will absolutely not happen. Now, Skip does have a podcast. He might just be continuing his podcast and going mainly independent. Which, hey, at 72 years old, you made plenty of money in your past, sir. Like, if you made plenty of money, you can still make money off of being more independent. Now, would it be slightly cheaper and more hard work? Yeah, but guess what? You're in control of your schedule. You can do whatever you want. You can still go to, athletes still respect you, even though a lot of them probably didn't like you. They still respect you, and you were still welcome at all the top tier sporting events. But I can't think of really any other sports network that will say, okay, we got to bring Skip on. I really don't. FS1, ESPN. I mean, you have multiple college platforms. Amazon, maybe streaming platforms might. Amazon, Prime, they have their sports platform. Let me see. I mean, I don't know. He can sign with Warner Brothers, do a sports show on Max. I really don't know. Maybe X might be looking out for him because they have Jim Rome right now, who's a huge voice in sports. X is, owned by Elon Musk. They're continuing to grow and build and see what, platforms they're continuing to do. But we will see. We will see from there. But again, this is an exclusive reported by New York Post that Skip Bayless will be parting ways with FS1 after 8 years. After 8 years on the network, and they have said that they will continue the program that really was started for him, Undisputed. They will continue that program, and we'll wish him all the luck and success and yes, all that good stuff. So best of luck to you, Skip. Best of luck to you. I know you're not going to be going anywhere anytime soon, but I will be very curious to see where that will lead you to, and it will be interesting. It will be interesting. So let's see right here. Before we move on to our next story, I do have to acknowledge another proud supporter and sponsor of the Arrington Gavin Show, Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a black-owned, veteran-owned spirit gin brand. It's a rose gold complexion gin. For all you gin connoisseurs out there, I highly recommend to add this to your collection. I myself am an avid bourbon and whiskey guy, but I highly recommend this gin. It tastes amazing, neat. It tastes amazing on ice. It's a great cocktail mixer as well. It is a growing spirit brand. You can find this amazing gin wherever you get your your alcohol, your spirits at. Be sure to try and grab yourself a bottle from one of your local Spirit or ABC stores right now, or you can go online to ingeniousgin.com. Again, that's www.ingeniousgin.com. Okay, and do me a favor, make sure to drink responsibly. All right, guys, next up we're going to be talking about comedian Loni Love had a few words for director, actor, writer, billionaire, okay, filmmaker, media mogul Tyler Perry. I know that's a lot of titles I just added there. You won't believe what she said giving him some advice after one of his projects not kind of flopped. So look, we're gonna do another quick break. I'm gonna take a quick breather, but when we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So don't go anywhere, my friends. We'll be back. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you. For those who are just now tuning in. Again, you are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show here on WDJY 99.1 FM, Straight Talk. So comedian, Emmy-winning TV host and actress Loni Love. Loni Love says here she urges Tyler Perry to hire black writers and black directors. Now, excuse me, this has coming off the aftermath of Tyler Perry's new film called Divorce in the Black. Okay, Divorce in the Black, which you can check it out right now free on Amazon Prime. And it, I kid you not, received a score of 0%. 0% from Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, to give you a better description of who they are an American review aggregation website for film and television. So they are the ones that give the good scores. If they scored a 72, that's, hey, they passed, or 70% and higher, they're doing a pretty great job. But this one received 0%. Now, all my lifetime, I'll be honest with you guys, in all my lifetime, I have never heard of a film or any project receive a 0%. So in my mind, I think Tyler Perry pissed some people off. Just that's just my personal opinion. I have never witnessed anybody receive a 0%. Now, I'll be honest. My wife and I, we watched the film Divorce in the Black. It starred Megan Good, actress Megan Good, and actor Corey Hardrick, excuse me. Which a unique thing about this film. So Corey Hardrick, for those who are unfamiliar with Corey's been acting for a very long time. But for some who are probably unfamiliar, and I don't mean to make this as disrespectful to Corey Hardrick's career, but like I said, he's been in a lot of great films. I remember he was in Gran Torino that starred Clint Eastwood. Many projects he's been on. But he was in the public eye after a very publicized divorce between him and, I believe it was Tia Mowry, one of the twin sisters from Sister Tia Mowry. They went through a very public divorce, and it was tough. It was tough. It was Tia had documented all of her kind of follow-ups with the breakup and the divorce on her social media. It shows her at the beach living her best life, and she's so excited. It showed them cross path at a award show, and they had a very awkward hug, but you can definitely tell like Corey's the one that's depressed and like, damn, I just I miss my family, I miss my girl, I messed up and this and the other. And it shows Tia's like, hey, bye, okay, like I'm living, like you could just tell she's enjoying herself. So I thought it was quite interesting the fact that this was his next big project, Divorce in the Black, where he played the biggest jerk. But if you haven't seen it, hey, well, sorry, but he plays a jerk in this film. But it was a great film, and I've always been very critical of Tyler Perry because everybody, I mean, if mostly in the Black community, I don't know if a lot of white people or anybody outside the Black community really focus on Tyler Perry's films like we do. But Tyler, the inside joke is that all his films are literally you already know what it is. It's the exact same style, exact same format. One, relationships, one's abusive, or relationships, one's cheating, or it's always just something very dramatic and just typical stuff. And it's like, can you ever change the storyline slightly? Not even just a little. Can you change it up? Because everybody's always know what to expect. Same with the character Medea, right? We know who Medea is. We know how she responds. We know. But Tyler he will have a few hit or miss that are like, okay, I like what you did here, Tyler, because you kept people on their feet thinking they knew how the ending was going to be, and you turn around and have throw us a curveball. So this film, Divorce in the Black, I would say was like one of those films. It kept you on your feet. It kept you very engaged, like a book, and you just couldn't wait to read the very last page of that book or the last chapter. So I was very surprised and shocked of the score. And just before I read more into what Loni Love was saying, this is with the co-star Corey Hardrick reacts to Rotten Tomatoes. Corey Hardrick says, let's see here. I'm trying to see. It says, yes, listen, Mr. Tyler Perry's Divorce with Black. It's the number one movie in the world. He says, I'm excited, man. He said, of Prime release, number one movie in the world right now. Listen, I'm excited. Okay. It says here, box office number one. Okay, what was I'm trying to look at the budget. I'm not seeing how much they made. Okay, well, I was reading something else. Sorry, have my notes mixed up. But I will say that both actors, both co-stars, Megan as well as Corey, had both mentioned on different platforms that Tyler Perry paid them their highest wage that they've ever been paid in their career. Now, again, we all know Megan Good. We know her. We know her resume. We know her catalog. She's been acting for a very long time, as well as Corey Hardrick. And he said, look, he paid me the most I've ever had in my career. So again, kudos to Tyler Perry for doing a great thing especially for our black actors and actresses out there who has been hustling for a very long time, and paying them what they rightfully own, what they're rightfully what they are earned, right? What they deserve is what I'm saying. So which is really great. So going back to Loni Love, now Loni Love had shed a little advice for Tyler after again the score being at 0%. She says, "Well, Tyler just need to hire more, invest in hiring black writers and directors." Now I'm like, Loni, is it really just black writers and black directors? Because Tyler Perry is the writer and he's the director. And he black. So could you just have said maybe he should just hire somebody that's, I don't know, not him and take a breather? Because Tyler he wants to have full control of his films. So it says here, this is reported by Rolling Out that the last cinematic feature, Divorce in the Black, featuring Megan Good and Corey Hardrick, has stirred quite a buzz since its premiere on Amazon Prime. Despite the actors' positive remarks about their lucrative paychecks, the film has not been spared from criticism, receiving a notable low rating from Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, controversy and criticism. It says here, the film's plot has been a major point of the contention. Yes, of the contention, contention, with some viewers branding it as one of the worst to stream in 2024. Wow, y'all are aggressive with this right now. Amid the growing critique, comedian Loni Love has publicly urged Perry to balance his investment in actors and equal focus on experienced writers and directors. Love suggests that enhancing the writing and directing team could elevate Perry's films to award worthy status. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that because hey, I don't think Tyler Perry's ever had a film that has been nominated for a Golden Globe, an Oscar, and I don't even know if he's ever been nominated for an Emmy. But I will say this though, and this is just one thing that's always bugged me, right? Um, I really don't like when people will, come up to your business or your whatever product, just your brand, right? And say, "Oh, wow, man, it's nice." But you know what you should have? You should do this. You should do that. Then you could really improve. Now, look, I think it's different from people within that same field. So, like, if if Tavis Smiley came up to me, or which Donnie Simpson came up to me, or the late great Joe Madison came up to me, oh, okay, and said, hell, even Rush Limbaugh, the late Rush Limbaugh, if he came up to me and said, well, you know what, this is how you should do in radio, right? This is how you can improve. Any person that has done it, that has been, if Charlemagne the God comes to me and say, look, you're doing a great job, but here's what I would do. Guess what? I would take that into consideration. But sometimes if you come across a person that has no experience in this at all by any chance, but just love to everybody always has an opinion on something, or can always critique somebody because they know everything. It gets a little old. Like, I'm sorry, but Lonnie, what films have you ever directed? What have you written that has been on the level of Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry's level. Lonnie, in all honesty, I don't see your studio. I don't see your massive black owned studio in Black Hollywood. I don't see you with your resume, with your catalog hitting billionaire status like Tyler. Okay? So I understand you're not trying to irritate him, or you don't mean it as a shot. You're trying to help build up and be like, hey, look, no, man, I want to see you win. You should do this, you should do that. Like, I get it. But to me, it's like, is Tyler gonna take it in consideration? Probably not. He's not. Like, Lonnie is an amazing comedian. She's hilarious. And like I said, she won an Emmy on the talk. She won an Emmy on the talk, but the talk was like every other, you know, panelist talk show. The talk was just, I mean, excuse me, the real was just like the talk and the view. Just happened to be on a different channel. Okay. Oh, like literally it was, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very annoyed at the time because a little bit about me, I started a podcast years ago, that what I considered it the male version of The View, because I was like, okay, we have all these panel talk shows that are female dominant, and what are the platforms for the guys? Because I love sports, but we don't talk about sports all the time. Okay, like, we can talk about more things than just sports. But anyways, um, to talk a little more on that, um, it says here that Love's comments have ignited a debate on social media about the need of higher quality scripting and direction in Perry's projects. While some fans agree with Love advocating for unionized skilled writers, others defend Perry's current approach, which has proven financially successful despite the artistic criticism. A former employee at Tyler Perry Studios highlighted that Perry does employ black writers and directors, though this has done little to quell the criticism of his work's narrative depth. Perry's approach to filmmaking. It says here, Perry's strategy of handling both writing and directing duties have been a hallmark of his work, often leading to mixed reviews from critics, but solid box office performance. His focus seems to remain on profitable and maintaining control over his creative outputs rather than pursuing critical acclaimed. As the debate continues, it's clear that Perry's films are a polarizing topic. While he is celebrated for his generosity towards actors and representation of Black narratives, the call for richer, more complex storytelling persists. Whether Perry will adjust his approach in response to these critics remains to be seen. Again, ladies and gents, um, I personally hope that Tyler Perry does try to jazz it up just a little bit. I mean, to him, he's like, "Hey, look, I make profit. My system has been working for me for years. Obviously, as it's helped me because, hey, look, I'm successful, and so why stop? Why stop? That's what he's saying. Why even stop? So, in a sense, if he doesn't, can't blame him. Hey, the founder of Arizona Green Tea says, why would I want to increase the price from 99 cents? It's been working for years. We've never gone broke. People are happy. We're gonna keep it going. So I think it's more critical for when it comes to entertainment because everybody wants to be entertained in a different way. When people start getting tired and it gets old, it gets very traditional. They're like, okay, new subject. Let's change it up. Let's change it up. So, yeah. Again, Lonnie, we appreciate the advice, but again, I don't think Tyler Perry is going to be paying you any mind on that one. Okay, moving on, PayPal. Let's do another quick commercial break here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Y'all don't go anywhere, and yeah, don't change that dial. We'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
What is going on, happy people? All right, we're back here on the Arrington Gavin Show here on WNS WDJY WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. All right, on our next story, the WNBA's new media rights deal worth $2.2 billion. That's right, y'all, $2.2 billion, and they will have signed that deal with they will be on ESPN, Prime Video, as well as NBC. So I'm going to read a little more on this deal. Let me pull up this graphic real quick for those who happen to be watching us on all the streaming platforms. Give me 1 second, my friends, as I adjust my notes here. All right, so this is reported by ESPN. It says here that the WNBA to get $200 million per year. Some union execs are concerned. Now, I'm looking at this one again with the new media rights deal that will is worth $2.2 billion. Again, I'm very happy for all the growth that that the WNBA continues to receive. This has been a record breaking season for them when it comes to selling out arenas, as well as just the revenue base. It's been a huge increase. A lot has been said on the talent that they've acquired since this last draft. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. But again, we all know the WNBA has always had talented individuals. Angel Wilson, Candace Parker. The list goes on and on. Sue Bird. They've always had talented individuals on the squad. But let me read a little more on this article reported by ESPN. It says here the WNBA would receive about $200 million per year as part of the NBA's recent approved media rights deal, according to multiple reports. Even with an annual increase around 140 million. Okay, the new number still concerns the executive directors of the WNBA Players Union. Executive Director Terry Jackson said in a statement that the WNBA is being undervalued at $2.2 billion over 11 years. We have wondered for months how the NBA would value the WNBA in its media rights deal, Jackson said, with a reportedly $75 million deal on the table. The league is in control of its own destiny. More precisely, the NBA controls the destiny of the WNBA. The WNBA current media deal, which is valued at about 60 million per year. So 60 million to 200 million, that's a huge increase. But I digress. Is set to expire after the 2025 season. The NBA, which owns about 60% of the WNBA, has negotiated the new deals. The NBA's Board of Governors approved that the league's next media rights deal with Disney, NBC, and Amazon Prime Video at its meeting on Tuesday, moving the league one giant step closer to finalizing the 11-year agreements that will be worth about $76 billion. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver had said that the league was closing in on a new media rights deal, but the other rights needed to be worked out with other partners, and that the full deal was not yet finalized. Now it says here, we look forward to learning how the NBA arrived at a $200 million valuation. If initial reports are accurate or even close, Jackson said. Neither the NBA nor the WNBA can deny that the last few years we have seen unprecedented growth across all metrics. The players continue to demonstrate their commitment to building the brand, and that the fans keep showing up. There is no excuse to undervalue the WNBA. Hey, she has a point there, because it has been, in my opinion, the last few years with the WNBA. I'll even say last four. We see growth every season, but the last few, I think, women's sports, but precisely on the basketball circuit, you already saw it on the collegiate level, and now those popular figures on the collegiate level are now in the WNBA, and they continue to build it up. So, lost my place. The new revenue could greatly increase players' salaries, which have been an issue for many years. Since the WNBA was founded in 1997, players have gone overseas to supplement their incomes. The top base salary this year is around $242,000, with players potentially earning more than $500,000 through salary, marketing agreements, and bonuses. Now, Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark makes around $76,000 as the number one pick in the draft. Jackson feels that the league could be undervalued with its popularity at an all-time high. The WNBA has had strong growth the past few seasons, but really took off this year, led by Clark and fellow rookie Angel Reese. The WNBA has had record attendance and viewership this year heading into the Olympic break. Now, this could be a huge, major thing for the WNBA. I'm a fan. I want to continue to see them grow. I want to see them get paid and make their money, so that the current players will not have to rely on going out of the country to play. I think ever since star Brittany Griner had that horrifying event that happened to her while she was heading out to Russia to play, because she received a lot of money in Russia. Then she had got arrested, and the whole story. She was there for quite a while, and I don't want to wish that on really any WNBA player, and I think it's not safe right now to just really go out of the country. So I think that this will be big news, and especially to get some big increases for the players who well deserve those high salaries. They're professional players. They worked hard. They played on all levels, and this is the highest level that you can play on women's professional basketball. So I would love to see it be done. I'll talk a little more on this probably on my Instagram. So be on the lookout for that. But I digress and have about almost less than 9 minutes left into the program. So I want to bring up this story real quick, guys. That happened to a former NFL star and NFL Hall of Famer. Give me 1 second as I find the video. But Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, running back, who is a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. I believe he has 2 rings. Give me 1 second because my tablet all of a sudden wants to move a little slow. But recently, he was wrongly arrested from a United Airlines, and it was quite embarrassing. And he shares a story on Good Morning America, talking with Robin Roberts. He had played I want to say it was 7 years, Hall of Famer, and he has 2 Super Bowl rings with the Denver Broncos. And let me go ahead and actually, if I can grab that soundbite of that video. And he shares the horrifying event that occurred to him and really in his family as he was on an airplane. Okay, here we are, right here.
Let's take us for people who are not familiar with the story. You're on a flight.
Yeah.
Beverage service starts.
Yeah.
Tell us what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ordinary flight. They have the beverage service that starts, and I'm in row 11, and I'm in the aisle. My oldest son is right next to me in the middle seat. My youngest son is in the window seat. My wife is across the aisle, and my wife and daughter across the aisle in 1 row back. Mm-hmm. And so it's a typical flight, nothing out of the ordinary. Beverage service starts, and the gentleman pulls up, and I'm reading a magazine. My kids are playing with their iPads, so I heard him ask, like, what do you want, like beverage? What do you want? Mm-hmm. And they were busy playing with the iPad, so they didn't respond. And I remember the tone got a little bit more aggressive. And I was thinking, man, that was kind of rude from the kids like that. So they got startled. They ordered their drinks. And I remember this, he puts the drinks on the tray, but with force. Like he just kind of slams them down. They say, thank you. He doesn't say anything. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he asked me my order. I gave him my order. Again, kind of slams the drink down. And again, I'm thinking, well, what is going on with this guy? But whatever. As he gives me my drink, he starts to move the cart. And my son says, excuse me, might I have some ice? And he obviously didn't hear my son ask for ice. So he moved the cart probably past my seat. And so my hand was up like, excuse me. And then I finally said, hey, excuse me, can I get some ice? I just tapped him on the shoulder. He swings his arm back and said, don't hit me. And I'm like, dude, I didn't hit you. And then he rushes up to the front of the plane, leaves the cart right there. And the gentleman in front of me turns around and says, I saw everything. I saw that. Like why did you didn't hit him? I'm like, of course I didn't hit him. So as I'm sitting there on the plane, it was bizarre because he's up there for a couple of minutes. And again, I was like, whatever. So I started reading the magazine.
So you don't think anything of it?
Nothing of it. Yeah. He comes back. He puts the cup of ice on my son's tray. He then takes the cart and takes it back up to first class. And about 3 minutes later, another flight attendant takes over. She brings the cart down, starts servicing the area, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But I don't see him for the rest of the flight.
You don't see him for the rest of
the flight.
But what did you see when you landed? What did you hear and see once the plane had
that's
landed?
A different story there. I mean, when we landed, they told everybody to remain in their seats because for whatever reason. And I thought it was a medical emergency. I fly a lot, so I've seen that before where they say, stay in your seat, someone they need to tend to. And so I've seen that before. So again, I'm just reading a magazine and 4 or 5 minutes pass. and then my head is down, and I can hear like the walkie-talkies. I hear a lot of the gear and wrestling of like you can hear when they come on, and everybody you can kind of hear like the awls, or like you can hear people the reactions to them coming on.
Yeah. When you say they coming on, who's coming on? The FBI.
FBI. Big FBI letters on the jackets.
Big as daylight. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
Okay.
FBI. I believe it was Orange County Sheriff Department. Guys with green. I didn't know who they were at the time, but you can tell it was
law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Without without explaining to me why they were doing it. They walk up to me, and the guy he whispers in my ear. He says, "Don't fight it." And he puts cuffs on me
while I'm
sitting down.
With everybody still on the plane.
Everybody's on the plane.
He never introduced, acknowledged or confirmed that it was Terrell.
Or say, hey, here's why. Here's what happened.
We're doing this, or
nothing.
Can I ask what happened? He just walked straight up to him and placed hands.
And what was it like for you to make it to see your husband in handcuffs?
I thought it was a joke, because what else could it be? And I saw the agents come on. So, of course, it caught my attention like everyone else. And they just walked straight up to Terrell and just played. And so I jumped out of my seat and I said, wait a minute, like, what's going on? And I hopped over the woman next to me, and I was kind of like to Terrell.
So, guys, I'm running a little short on time, but what I want to say is that obviously you hear the wife of Football Hall of Famer Terrell Davis saying how horrifying this event was that occurred on a United Airlines flight, and United Airlines has since apologized to the Hall of Famer because it was something that should never have happened. And what really really just it really just bugs me right now is the fact that I feel as though as a successful black man, as Terrell Davis is, he's very known as being one of the most humble individuals in sports. While he was in the league, outside the league, never had any issues at all with the law. Is it me, or is it like, wow, what the viral moments that we see involving law enforcement on, when it's an officer detaining an individual, another person of color, or just doing something out of what they're taught. I'm seeing it now on airlines that we used to always just see people spazzing out, mainly, airline goers, and you were always on the side of flight attendants. But this right here sounds like discrimination, in my opinion. I don't know about y'all, but if the gentleman, regardless if he was having a bad day or not, that's not how anybody should act. And all of a sudden, they're just going to cuff Terrell Davis. Why? He wasn't getting aggravated. He wasn't fussing. He wasn't fighting anybody, but you're going to put him in cuffs so that everybody can see, so you can make a scene. So now he has to live with that. And it's very, very, very embarrassing. So it's unfortunate that regardless of how successful you are and that you get, you still have to live with, or you still have to fight hard in order to be looked upon as equal and get treated like everybody else. Is very unfortunate. Y'all, look, I'm running on my at the end of my time, but be sure to continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show here on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk weeknights at 11 p.m. as well as on all digital and streaming platforms. Okay, wherever you can get your podcast, you can listen to the Arrington Gavin Show, and also follow us on our Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media. Subscribe, share with everybody. We're trying to get those numbers up, as well as on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. Y'all take care. God bless. I'll see you on the next show.